This is ITV News at 6:30 with Alistair Stewart and Julie Etchingham.
Good evening. Britain launched a pincer movement on Spain today in its increasingly bitter row over the kingdom's border controls with Gibraltar. As planned, the Royal Navy headed south. One ship will call at Gibraltar. But in a fresh initiative, the Prime Minister threatened to take Spain to the European Court.
Downing Street described Spain's behaviour as politically motivated and totally disproportionate. Spain has threatened to take Britain to the UN as diplomatic relations between the two countries deteriorate. Our Europe editor, James Mates, reports.
The helicopter carrier HMS Illustrious leaves Portsmouth this morning, heading for the Mediterranean. A deployment planned long before this current spat over Gibraltar, but at least one Royal Navy vessel will soon be docking in the colony. However routine, symbols of Britain's continuing commitment are important. Gibraltarians trying to cross back and forth into Spain have endured another trying weekend of long queues at the border, prompting London now to threaten legal action against Spain at what it considers a breach of European rules on free movement. The flag flying over the rock may be looking a little tattered these days, but Britain insists its legal claims are as impeccable as ever.
This is the Treaty of Utrecht here in the British Library, signed exactly 300 years ago. It brought an end to the War of the Spanish Succession and gave Britain its claim to Gibraltar. Here it says that the town, the port and the castle of Gibraltar is to be enjoyed by Britain forever, without any exception or impediment whatsoever.
But the waters, say Spain, were not included, which is why they've objected so strongly to the building of an artificial reef. They say that is to thwart Spanish fishermen. Spain's Foreign Minister Jose Garcia Margallo is not retreating 1 inch, now threatening to join Argentina in an appeal to the UN. That's a possibility, he said. The other is an appeal to the International Court in The Hague. So threats and counter-threats between two supposed EU and NATO allies, with the prospect that for the first time international judges will be ruling on this 300-year-old dispute. But at least the parties seem to want a resolution in the courts rather than something much worse.
So what does the European Union make of this row, James?
Well, they are sending monitors to the border to see for themselves what's going on, but they're probably not going to get there until September or October, see what's happening, report back, and only then will there be a decision on whether to go for enforcement action at the European Court, and of course that would take a long time inevitably. So the prospect of someone legally telling Spain to stop doing this is a long way off. Now, they do have the legal right, of course, to enforce these border controls, and they do have a problem. Alcohol and tobacco are much cheaper in Gibraltar. There's a lot of day tripping goes on, stuffing a car full of fags and booze, taking them back into Spain to sell and undercut the market there. So they do have an issue, but the pattern here is of long queues at the weekend, 3 hours, 4 hours last weekend. Today, almost none. It does look deliberate, and it does look as if Madrid is telling London and Gibraltar, do something we don't like, and we can make life difficult for you.
James,